Dear Ron Lauder, querido Eduardo Olstein, dear members of the different Jewish communities, especially the Spanish-speaking ones, Señor Embajador de España, and ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. First of all, I would like to thank the World Jewish Congress for your kind invitation. It is always a pleasure to be with all of you here in Jerusalem, even more with this wonderful view, and even more today. I want to start straight out condemning the ruthless terrorist attack that yesterday killed 4 Israelis, one of them pregnant, outside a Jewish settlement near Hebron. I do want to bolster once again my clear convictions that nobody should talk, neither deal, nor yield to terrorists. The only fate for terrorism is to be fought and defeated. Difference today, obviously, all our eyes are on Washington, D.C., where hosted by President Obama, Prime Minister Netanyahu, and the President of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, are going to enter direct talks about after so many months of impasse. Though I'm not sure about the possibility to achieve a historic agreement, given the circumstances on the Palestinian side, we must be optimistic. At least the world will see that is not the Israeli government, the one that is not willing to talk and is not ready to deliver. We should be optimistic but also prudent. Expectations are too high, and as a politician I know that big expectations tend to produce bigger frustrations. Last time the leaders from Israel and the Palestinian Authority met in order to produce a peaceful and lasting agreement, the outcome of the meeting was precisely the opposite. A second intifada, far more lethal than the first one. But let us dream for a while and believe that a final status between Israel and a Palestinian state was to be reached soon. It will not only change the dynamics here, it will show to the entire world how wrong they have been, blaming Israel for all the wrongdoings in the region, or the lack of Israel-Palestinian agreement as the source of all violence stretching from North Africa to the Hindu Kush. The world will see that the Palestinian state neither will tame the Islamic radicals and jihadists, whose goal is to establish a fundamentalist theocracy, nor will diminish the nuclear and revolutionary ambitions of the Iranian regime, the real 2 main drivers of the future of the region and the world. In any case, we should be looking to Washington, D.C. not only for the talks going on there today, but for deeper reasons. The United States has been the cornerstone of the Western world, expanding our core values of freedom, prosperity, and human dignity, and protected our security vis-à-vis our enemies. US have played a vital role, and our way of life depends on their playing that central role in the future. Something that is not guaranteed, to my own knowledge. Revealing his art of mind, Bin Laden said when he and some of his fellows were celebrating the destruction of the Twin Towers, that if someone has to choose between a strong horse and a weak horse, he will invariably choose the strong one. For decades, if not centuries, the strong horse has been the West, clearly. Today, nonetheless, we are facing some contestant. There are some that would like to see a new world order, where the Western powers have a diminished role and influence, like Russia and China, each one for different reasons. There are some others who would like to have more influence for themselves, like Brazil or Italy, Turkey. And of course, there are those who would like to destroy our system, to impose their vision, like the revolutionary Ayatollahs in Iran or the jihadists led or inspired by Al-Qaeda. To add more confusion, we in the West are going through one of the most, if not the most, severe economic crisis in our recent history. And while the crisis is global and affecting the whole planet, some are better prepared to deal with its consequence than others. If the crisis lasts too long, a new distribution of power will be inevitable. There will be winners and losers, no doubt about that. Furthermore, major parts of the West are suffering a kind of crisis of identity. And Europe is a good example. With a declining population, increasing numbers of Muslim immigrants, many of them exposed to radical ideas, multiculturalism has imposed itself as the political correct way to deal with the challenges of different cultures, living together even if some of them do not want to be integrated or do not respect the other. I mean, when Judeo-Christian values are aggressively challenged every day, and the 68th generation that dominates our current leadership do nothing to defend them. Peasant Europe has been fighting the West for too long, and because of that has been so hypercritical of Israel. US were a different story, at least until very recently. President Obama has put in motion forces that, if unchecked, may redefine the nation and its place in the world in ways that, to me, may cause major problems to all of us. From his inauguration, he has sought a new relation with the Muslim world, even at the cost of the undermining America's best ally in the region, as he has done with Europe, pursuing a reset relation with Moscow. He seems to have devoted more time and energy in organizing today's meeting and advancing a new peace plan than trying to prevent the Iranian regime to build its bomb. He has projected an image of somebody who wants to escape from the problems of the world, from Iraq to Afghanistan, embracing many adversaries of America while punishing its traditional allies.